Erica here, and I'm here today with my February wrap-up. It's coming a little bit late because reasons. I read a good handful of books in February, not as much as I normally do, but my life has been very busy, so that is a thing. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about are two little poetry pamphlets that I read. Both of these are published by Dancing Girl Press, and they're both beautiful. This one is All Day Talking by Sarah A. Chavez, and this one is Heiress to a Small Ruin by Sarah J. Sloat. I'm not going to talk about them too much in depth. I'm going to start doing regular poetry reviews videos, I think, soon. But they were both very good, and I enjoyed them both. Next, I finished an audiobook. I listened to Shrill by Lindy West. The subtitle of this book is Notes from Loud Women. So this is kind of a memoir and social commentary book by Lindy West about her life as a comedian and about what it's like to be an overweight woman in comedy and just in the real world, and about how she's treated as a woman who speaks her mind very forcefully. It was really funny. The audiobook is definitely something I would highly recommend. It's one of those books that's just like great for consuming in audio form, and I enjoyed it overall. I think I gave it 3 stars in the end. There wasn't anything like super groundbreaking or new to me in terms of kind of the feminism that Lindy West presents. I feel like while it did involve some intersectionality in terms of women who are overweight, it also was kind of a very white feminist book. That's not really what I'm interested in learning right now, and I don't feel like it necessarily helped me better myself as much as just it was kind of like an affirmation that it's okay to speak your mind, and it's okay to look how you want to look and be a woman. So it was good. It was definitely good. I'm not hating on it, but it wasn't necessarily what I needed in the moment. Then I read the second book in the Dream Blood duology by N.K. Jemisin. This is a bind-up, but the first book is The Killing Moon, and the second book is The Shadowed Sun. I can't talk that much about the second book. I did read the first book back in January. I really enjoyed this series. I still adore N.K. Jemisin. I'm very happy to be getting into some of her other work other than the Broken Earth trilogy, which I adore. This is set in a world where there are people who can kind of harvest the power of dreams. It's very difficult to describe, the magic system, and it has a very complex political and religious system as well. There's a lot of political intrigue, some adventure, a little bit of romance. It was great. I actually am in the minority here when I say that I liked the second book better than the first. I really enjoyed the female protagonist in the second book. I thought she was an incredible character, and the kind of love storyline that bothers some people did not bother me at all. So I really enjoyed both books. I gave the first one 4 stars, and I think I gave the second one 5 stars. It was really good, so highly recommend that. The next book I read was an ARC, so this does not come out until March 14th in the US, and that is The Wanderers by Meg Howry. This is a book about a crew who's getting ready to make the first human landing on Mars, and they are put in a very realistic simulation of what their journey both to Mars, their time spent on Mars, and their journey home will be like. So they have to learn to live in kind of close quarters and all of that stuff. I was really looking forward to this. I did not enjoy it very much at all. I gave it 2 stars in the end. It was okay. I was into the characters and the character development in the beginning, and then it kind of all fell a little flat. There's definitely some like fat phobic stuff going on in here, just like not like involving the main plot line, but once or twice there are like little jabs, and I was like, ugh, why? So I'm disappointed in it. I was going to do a full review closer to the release date, but I really don't have that much to say about it because it was just meh. So that is that. Then I read an amazing new release, which is Lincoln and the Barno by George Saunders. I did do a full review of this. It was just released in February on Valentine's Day, I believe. So I will link my review around here somewhere. I loved this, but I am a huge fan of George Saunders, so I kind of knew I was going to love it. And again, I have a full review, so you can go check that out. I finally read The Vegetarian by Han Kang. This won the International Man Booker Prize. It is translated from the Korean by Deborah Smith, and it was dark, y'all. Like, I had heard this book was kind of fucked up, but I don't think that I really understood what I was getting into when I went into it. So this is kind of told in 3 parts, and is told from 3 different characters' perspectives, but it's basically about a woman who decides she cannot eat meat anymore for reasons, and kind of goes down this long twisting path into mental illness. And then it also gives a viewpoint of other people in her life who may or may not also be struggling with mental illness issues. And it was really fucked up. It was beautiful, though. I mean, this is a beautifully written book. This is really, like, just my style. It's, like, kind of messed up, really beautiful, really poignant. So I adored it. It was definitely not for everyone, so I understand that, but for me, it lived up to absolutely all of the hype and even beyond that. I read 1 graphic novel in February, and that is I Hate Fairyland Volume 2 by Scotty Young. I believe this is illustrated by, oh no, it's written and drawn by Scotty Young. The coloring's by Jean-Francois Belleau. I don't know how to say that. So, this, if you remember, Volume 1 was one of my favorite graphic novels of 2016. I really adored it. I thought it was hilarious and great. This volume fell a little flat for me. I think kind of the novelty of the plot and the characters wore off a little bit for me. I still really enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. It's still a really fun graphic novel. I love the art. It's so bright and colorful and just like, it's an explosion of joy. But yeah, I think I got a little tired of it, but I will continue on with the series because it's a nice, fun, like, thing to read on an afternoon when you're feeling down. And the last book that I read in February, I have no idea what month it is Cameron Hurley's The Stars Are Legion. So this was just released in February. It was one of my most anticipated releases for the first 3 months of 2017, and it is a sci-fi book with an entirely female cast. So, I get Cameron Hurley's newsletter, and right before this book was published, she sent out a newsletter, and it was like the first 200 people to respond get like a bag of goodies. So I got that from her, and one of the things was this alternative dust cover jacket, which just says lesbians in space, and is maybe the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. So I do love that. I think there's a sticker in here somewhere too that just says lesbians in space. Yeah, check it out. So that's hilarious. I do appreciate an entirely female cast in a space opera. I think I'm going to do a full review of this. I have a lot of things to say about it. Suffice it to say that I did not love it as much as I anticipated loving it, but it did give me a lot to think about, and I found it to be quite interesting. So this is the first novel of Cameron Hurley's that I've read, I should say, also. I read her book of essays, The Geek Feminist Revolution, last year and adored it. I follow her on Twitter. I don't know her personally, but I like her on social media. I like her blog. So, but this is the first novel of hers that I've read. So, I have some thoughts. We'll talk about it soon. That is all I have for you today. Again, didn't read a ton in February, but I read a lot of really outstanding books. The Vegetarian, Lincoln and the Bardo, second book in the Dreamblood duology, all great. And I hope you had a lovely February and are so far having a lovely March. I will be back soon, and if you want to talk about any of these books, we can absolutely do so in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a lovely day.